So it does also make sense, kind of going back to that moral thing, moral being just within the context, this is like the way that we can work here in this moment. So it's like we have things around us, we have to live a certain way based on those things, based on those circumstances, that context, those people, etc. And then naturally, if you go to another place, that has to completely change. Otherwise, you just can't exist there. It's like, we need to now live it like, these are the resources. Obviously, you can't have a sleeping schedule if now that you're like, I don't know, camping or traveling or like anything, like everything completely shifts based on where you are and what's going on. And to develop a skill to adapt that way is not something that most people in today's world have to do, not just anymore, because we had to do that before, but not to such an extreme. But also we can make it so that we don't have to anymore by living a really cozy lifestyle and ending up in the, like, the only people you're going to talk to are the people who you happen to chance encounter, and you have to learn how to tolerate and communicate with people who like have completely different ways of life than you. It's now, I can find the circle that only fits with what I want to believe and what I want to think, and wrap myself in this, and look outside and be like, they're morally wrong. They like anything with a different perception of the world and way of life. You can actually shy away from that and not communicate with people. So it's not, you're not going to talk to the person at the bus stop who might have a completely different way of life. You're going to look at your phone and talk to the people who have exactly your way of life. Yeah. Like it's we've cultivated a world where we can isolate, and like regardless of where we are, and globally. So we can be isolated globally. Right. And that is like so fascinating. Yeah. Which is like also, until you can learn to use it as a catalyst for growth and change, and learning to live and understand either the one version of what that guy said is like, a global morality. Mm-hmm. Like that basically means a global equanimity. Yeah. Like you have equanimity with regardless of what anybody else's morals is. That is the only way that you can do it, which is what that means by having a global morality. Mm-hmm. And like you gotta somehow do that when like walking down a street in your own bubble while looking at your phone. Like, yeah. And while everybody else is looking at their phone too, so it's like not like there's things that are naturally poking into your bubble, unless you accidentally stumble into someone or like randomly clash with somebody or something. It's like,
which does bring us to what I just finished recently. It was a 10-day Vipassana course taught by S.N. Goenka, which is my 8th course, and I was just thinking about, you're walking, you're isolated, you're not talking to anyone, but if you're cultivating equanimity at the deepest part of your mind, then that's radiating out into everything that you live, and therefore you're actually creating that global morality and mastery and purification of your mind on your own. Mm-hmm. And doing it.
But that is all that means is like if I develop equanimity with myself right here, right now, with only what's going on now, that is the closest, that is identical to what having a global morality would look like. It's like I am equanimous right here, right now, regardless of circumstances, just balance. And
because the whole idea of what you said about you could just keep your life all cozy and you can just wrap yourself in exactly what like you want or whatever, is the averting and craving of I'm not okay with just what's here now, and so I'm gonna put my attention on something that is just comfortable for me and doesn't create any dissatisfaction in this little, this moment of ignorance.
Yeah.